Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the weekly report. Take the deal, President Trump. Deal making is said to be President Trump's specialty, yet after 5 rounds of indirect talks with Iran, most recently just days ago, we seem as far away from an agreement as ever. The 5th round ended last Friday with no breakthrough, but at least no breakdown. However, each day that passes without a document signed on the table is another day for the neocons to maneuver the U.S. president toward an attack on Iran. One way the war party does this is to continuously move the goalposts and change the rules of the game. Trump's envoy, Steve Witkoff, under great pressure from the neocons, has himself signaled at least 3 position shifts, from no enrichment at all to lower level enrichment for civilian uses, back to no enrichment at all. The neocons know that Iran will not give up its right to civilian use of nuclear power, and that is why they are applying maximum pressure to force Trump to officially adopt that position. They know if that becomes the U.S. red line, then they will win and they will get their war. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, in league with the U.S. neocons, has been warning us for 20 years that Iran is months away from a nuclear weapon, even though our own intelligence community recently reaffirmed that Iran is not working on a nuclear weapon at all. Of course, this is the same Netanyahu promised Congress in 2002. If the U.S. would just invade Iraq, peace and prosperity would break out in the Middle East. If you take out Saddam's regime, he told Congress in March of that year, I guarantee you that it will have enormous positive reverberations on the region. We know how that worked out. Poll after poll shows that the American people are tired of intervention and tired of Middle East wars. President Trump himself recognized this in his scathing rebuke of neocons and interventionists during a recent speech in Saudi Arabia. But rebuke in a speech is not enough. President Trump must actively turn away from the neocons, many of whom are prominent in his own administration. The recent U.S. debacle in Yemen, where billions were wasted, civilians killed, and U.S. military equipment destroyed, is just a taste of what the U.S. would be in for if the neocons get their way and take us to war with Iran. The Iranian foreign minister laid down in the simplest terms how the impasse could be solved, posting on X that 0 nuclear weapons equal we do have a deal. 0 enrichments equal we do not have a deal. My own preference is non-intervention, and I do not believe Iran has the desire or the ability to militarily harm the United States. I share President Trump's view that it would be far better to reestablish relations with Iran and begin mutually beneficial trade with the country. But if a mutually acceptable nuclear deal is the best way to take the neocon war with Iran off the table, then a deal is worth supporting. President Trump should make his position clear to his negotiators. No more waffling or contradictions. Get this agreement signed and put one in the win column. Thanks for listening.